The view from Valerie's window revealed a tapestry of shadows and light, with the buildings towering like ancient giants against the darkened sky. The city's hum served as a perpetual backdrop to her existence, a gentle reminder of the myriad tales unfolding just out of her grasp. Within the confines of her humble apartment, a tale of serene solitude unfolded, a realm inhabited by her and her son, Alex. His presence wove a fabric of comfort, yet also stirred a delicate undercurrent of tension in her life. Valerie lay in her bed, the sheets entwined around her delicate figure, her thoughts dancing restlessly, unwilling to yield to the embrace of sleep. The apartment lay in stillness, interrupted only by the soft creaks of the aged wooden beams, shifting gently in response to the cooling air. She whispered to herself that her restlessness stemmed from the heat, the heavy summer air that clung to every corner of the city. Yet, beneath that surface, she sensed the truth. Her sleepless nights were tangled in a web of deeper, more intricate emotions. Alex had taken to wandering through his thoughts, his once bright smile now shadowed by a contemplative, almost melancholic demeanor. His return home after college was a delightful turn of events, an opportunity for them to rekindle their bond and navigate the fresh landscape of their relationship as adults. As the weeks stretched into months, Valerie discovered herself wrestling with an unexpected sense of isolation. Her son was drifting away, shaping a life uniquely his own, and she couldn't escape the haunting sense that he was slipping from her grasp, drawn into the expansive, mysterious world that lay just beyond their threshold. It was a feeling of estrangement that compelled her to rise from her slumber in the quiet hours of dawn. She had to find a way to meet him, to soothe her heart and mind. She sought comfort in the belief that the connection they held was still alive, even if it showed signs of wear. She glided gently down the hallway, her bare feet whispering against the well-loved carpet. The door to Alex's room stood slightly open, a delicate beam of light spilling forth, illuminating the otherwise shadowy corridor with a warm, golden hue. Valerie paused, her hands suspended in the air, torn between the urge to shield and the realization that her son deserved his own space. Yet, the silence enveloped her like a heavy fog, and she longed to shatter the invisible wall that had suddenly risen between them. "Who is it, Alex?" she murmured softly, her voice a delicate thread, scarcely reaching even her own ears. With a gentle push, she eased the door open just a bit further, her heart racing in her chest as she cautiously glanced into the room. The scene that unfolded before her was both unsettling and oddly captivating. Alex sat on the edge of his bed, his posture tense, his gaze fixed intently on the laptop screen before him. The chamber was illuminated by dancing light, while the air was thick with the sounds of fervent sighs and the rhythmic cadence of bodies meeting in a fervent embrace. Valerie's eyes widened in disbelief as she absorbed the scene, her attention irresistibly pulled toward the vivid spectacle playing out on the computer screen. She ought to have walked away, to have sought refuge in the comfort of her own space and feigned ignorance of what had transpired. Yet, an invisible power held her firmly in place, her gaze fixed on the figures twisting on the screen, their forms engaged in an ancient dance of longing and liberation. Valerie's gaze wandered to Alex, and for the first time, she became aware of the delicate dance of his hands, concealed from sight, nestled within the folds of his sweatpants. They swayed in harmony with the movements of the characters unfolding before him on the screen. The moment he understood his actions sparked a surge within her, a blend of nurturing worrying and a deeper, unsettling intrigue. The abrupt click of the laptop closing pierced the stillness, drawing Valerie's gaze back to her son. Alex whirled around, his eyes brimming with disbelief and a flush of humiliation washing over him, as the realization struck that he had been discovered in such an awkward predicament. "Mom," his voice trembled, a soft murmur escaping his lips, as his thoughts raced to grasp the right words for the moment. "I'm sorry, Alex," Valerie stammered, her cheeks burning with embarrassment. "I never intended to impose upon you. I simply wanted to see how you are doing." The words lingered in the air, a silent recognition of the line they had both stepped over. Alex's expression softened just a bit, a blend of relief and lingering embarrassment washing over him as he understood that his mother would not press for answers or scold him for his personal choices. "It's all right, Mum," he reassured her, his voice gaining strength. "If only I had tread more lightly. I regret that you had to witness that." Valerie nodded, her smile faint as she retreated from the room, gently closing the door behind her as she journeyed back to her own bed. The vivid images from the laptop screen lingered, replaying in her mind's eye with an unsettling clarity that refused to dissipate. The days that followed were thick with an unshakable tension, a palpable awkwardness that lingered between Valerie and Alex, refusing to be cast aside. They twirled in a delicate ballet, their words weaving in and out, interrupted by stretches of silence that hung heavy in the air. Valerie observed her son with a fresh perspective, noticing how his eyes would flicker towards her and then swiftly away, as if he feared what she might uncover. She started to focus more on her appearance, selecting outfits that accentuated her figure, her choices propelled by an urge she could neither comprehend nor restrain. She chuckled at his jokes, ensured her fingers brushed against him, a gentle hand on his shoulder, a teasing nudge as they crossed paths in the hallway, and discovered herself searching for excuses to linger close, to inhale the fragrance of his cologne and bask in the warmth radiating from him. One evening, as Valerie was preparing dinner, she cast a fleeting glance at Alex, who sat at the kitchen table, seemingly engrossed in his laptop studies. She observed his hand wandering to the edge of his t-shirt, his fingers playfully dancing with the fabric, drawing tiny, absent-minded circles on his abdomen. The gesture was simple, yet it stirred something deep within her, awakening a realization of the unseen layers of her son's life as an adult. As the night deepened and Alex withdrew to his room, the apartment embraced its familiar, tranquil silence. Valerie stood there, caught in the stillness. Once more, outside his door, this time, she stepped forward with unwavering resolve. With a gentle twist of the handle, she stepped into the room, her heart racing as she drew closer to the laptop perched on his desk. With trembling fingers, she embarked on a journey through the digital realm, opening the browser and navigating to. As she perused the history page, her gaze danced over the array of websites he had explored. The titles of the videos were bold and diverse, reflecting the vastness of Alex's exploration into desire. Valerie experienced a rush of heat, a blend of embarrassment and excitement, as she absorbed the words, her imagination painting vibrant images, pictures that stirred her emotions and piqued her curiosity. As she clicked on the link, a thrill coursed through her, her breath catching in anticipation as the video began to unfold on the screen. The performers exuded charm and freedom, their forms flowing with a captivating elegance that was both stunning and profoundly sensual. Valerie convinced herself that this endeavor was solely for the purpose of gaining insight into her son, seeking a means to bridge the gap between them, to forge a connection that rose above their struggling mother-son relationship. As she observed the scenes unfold, she felt an undeniable stirring of her own long-suppressed emotions, longing, the gradual ignition of a connection she had never expected to experience for her own child. With a decisive snap, Valerie closed the laptop and rose suddenly, the chair protesting as it scraped against the floor. What thoughts danced through her mind? This was chaos, a journey that spiraled into shadows and ruin. She escaped from Alex's room. The echo of the closing door lingered, a stark reminder of the line she had so nearly crossed. As she reclined in her bed, gazing at the ceiling above, Valerie sensed that she was on the edge of an impending transformation. The awareness of her actions, and the close call she had narrowly escaped, pressed down on her conscience like a heavy shroud. She danced with flames, fully aware that it was just a heartbeat away from the moment she would feel the sting of their heat. Yet, amidst the whirlwind of her thoughts, the vivid recollection of Alex's hand gliding beneath his t-shirt lingered, the shadowy silhouette of his figure etched in her mind. As he sat, enveloped in his own realm of imagination and longing, as slumber gently enveloped her, she held tightly to the flicker of hope that, against all odds, they would navigate their way back to firm ground, a realm where the ties of family intertwined with the whispers of forbidden desire could thrive together, weaving their lives into a tapestry without unraveling the fabric of their world. As the days melted into weeks, the apartment transformed into a canvas, where silent glances danced and unspoken desires wove their intricate tales. Valerie glided through her routines, her spirit seemingly untethered as her thoughts wandered back to in the stillness of the night. She had crossed the threshold into Alex's world, unearthing a Pandora's box of emotions that surged within her. Raw and unfiltered, she found herself observing him with a fresh fervor, her eyes tracing the lines of his physique, the power in his grip, the way his hair cascaded in soft curls at the nape of his neck. Alex appeared to be wrestling with a whirlwind of conflicting emotions within himself. He was courteous and captivating during their shared meals and the occasional movie night. Yet a certain caution lingered in his eyes that hadn't been present before. It seemed he was keenly attuned to the changing currents between them, though he probably saw it as just the typical struggles of a young adult seeking to carve out their own path. On a sweltering afternoon, Valerie's internal struggle reached a fever pitch as she made her way home from a grueling day at work. The apartment lay in an unusual hush, the silence deepened by the heavy heat that clung to the very walls. With a clatter, her keys fell onto the counter as she slipped off her shoes, her weary body yearning for the soothing embrace of her bedroom. As she strolled past Alex's room, she caught sight of the door, ever so slightly ajar. She urged herself to continue on, to honor his solitude, yet an insatiable curiosity, or maybe something more sinister, drove her steps onward. She gazed through the opening, her heart racing at the scene that unfolded before her. Alex lay upon his bed, eyes gently closed, breathing shallow and rhythmic, as if caught in a tranquil dream. One hand lay nestled beneath his pillow, while the other found its place low on his abdomen, fingers gliding with a slow, intentional rhythm beneath the waistband of his shorts. Valerie's breath hitched in her throat as the realization of his actions dawned on her. Alex found himself enveloped in a moment of intimate exploration, his body surrendering to the waves of self-discovery and indulgence. A surge of tumultuous feelings enveloped her. Regret lingers for having stepped into such a personal moment. A shiver ran through her as she confronted the unsettling truth of how effortlessly she could fall into the allure of these forbidden insights into her son's hidden world. And, most unsettling of all, a palpable wave of excitement washed over her, leaving her feeling both rattled and remorseful. She withdrew quietly, seeking refuge in the haven of her room, a place where she could unravel the weight of what she had just witnessed. Reclining on her bed, she finally permitted herself to confront the truth that had been quietly bubbling under the surface of her awareness for weeks. Her emotions for Alex had evolved beyond mere maternal affection. They had transformed into a labyrinth of intricate and taboo feelings, a web of emotional and sensual longing that she found impossible to rationalize or dismiss. Valerie wandered through the rest of the day, her mind clouded, each moment with Alex now colored by a fresh sense of introspection. She was acutely aware of each word that slipped from her lips, every movement she executed, gripped by the fear that he might somehow uncover the chaotic thoughts swirling within her mind. As the evening drew near, Valerie stood before her closet, her fingers gliding over the array of garments that adorned the space within. She chose a short flowing skirt and a low-cut tank top, her selections driven by an impulse she was finally ready to embrace. As she gazed into the mirror, her heart raced, caught in a dance of unease and eager expectation. She exuded confidence, an alluring charm that wrapped around her like a warm embrace, igniting within her a blend of strength and fragility. The evening meal unfolded in a serene atmosphere. The tension between Valerie and Alex hung in the air, thick and undeniable. She noticed him stealing glances at her exposed legs, the fabric of her skirt riding up as she moved, and she couldn't help but feel a thrill of satisfaction at his obvious discomfort. She chuckled at his efforts to be funny, her gaze resting on his lips as he talked, envisioning the sensation of those lips pressed against hers. Once the meal had concluded, they gathered in the cozy living room, ready to immerse themselves in a cinematic adventure. The space that lay between them on the couch was a mere whisper, far less than what one might expect. Valerie sensed the warmth emanating from Alex, drawing her nearer, her skin alive with the thrill of impending touch. As the film drew to a close, they lingered in quietude, the sole accompaniment being the gentle hum of the air conditioner and the faint whispers of the city beyond. Valerie turned to face Alex, her eyes probing his for a hint of shared desire, a glimmer that he too was drawn into the magnetic allure of this perilous connection. Once upon a time, there was a character named Alex. She started, her voice soft and delicate, like a secret waiting to be shared. There's a matter I wish to discuss with you. A matter of significance. He gazed at her, his face a canvas of worrying and uncertainty, and gestured for her to go on. Valerie inhaled deeply, her thoughts swirling as she grappled with the challenge of articulating the tumult of her feelings. In the weeks that have slipped by, ever since that fateful night, I find myself grappling with emotions that elude my grasp, feelings that send a shiver down my spine. She halted, measuring his response. Yet his expression stayed unreadable, his eyes unwaveringly fixed on hers. My perspective on you has shifted, and I find myself uncertain about whether I wish to halt this change. I'm uncertain if, in the midst of it all, this is truly what we both seek. The hush that enveloped them was overwhelming, the atmosphere thick with a palpable tension. I felt alive, crackling and buzzing in the stillness. Valerie paused, her breath caught in her throat, eager for Alex to break the silence, to utter a word, any word, that could shed light on his own emotions regarding the situation. At long last, after what seemed like an endless stretch of time, he finally found his voice, soft and uncertain. Mother, I find myself at a loss for words. This is quite a bit to absorb. Valerie nodded, her eyes glistening with unused tears. I understand, my dear. I truly do. Yet, we must acknowledge this. We cannot feign ignorance to the undeniable connection that exists between us. Alex gazed at his hands, his fingers entwining in a nervous dance upon his lap. As he finally raised his eyes to meet hers, a fierce determination flickered within them, a spark that Valerie had never encountered before. My heart holds you dear, Mum, above all else. Yet, this it is not right. Is not the emotion a son ought to harbor for his mother. Valerie extended her hand, enveloping his with a touch that was both tender and unwavering. But what if it feels right? Alex, what if, against all odds, this is the very thing we both seek? The room was thick with silence as they sat together, entwined in a moment that was both deeply intimate and bewildering. Valerie sensed they were on the brink of a choice that could change the trajectory of their lives for eternity, and she understood that, regardless of what unfolded next, there would be no turning back. As the night deepened, the walls between Valerie and Alex gradually fell away, each word, each touch, pulling them deeper into the enticing realm of their unspoken longings. As Alex leaned in, his lips gently grazed hers in a tentative, exploratory kiss, Valerie sensed that they had stepped into a realm from which there was no turning back. In the days and weeks that followed, they found themselves entangled in the aftermath of their choices, wrestling with the duality of their bond as family and the deep, fervent connection that was blossoming between them. It was a journey filled with peril and the chance for sorrow. Yet in that instant, as they surrendered to the undeniable allure of their feelings, nothing else held significance. They were woven together by a connection that shimmered with both beauty and sorrow, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the essence of human longing, regardless of how intricate or surprising its manifestation may be. The apartment, once a sanctuary of warmth and familiarity, had transformed into a clash of unvoiced longings and oppressive quietude. The atmosphere was heavy with unease, a tangible weight that felt increasingly stifling as time dragged on. Valerie understood that this could not go on. The tension between her and Alex was growing insurmountable, a deep divide that loomed large, threatening to engulf their bond entirely. It was time to shine a light on the unspoken truths, to face the emotions that had been simmering just below the surface, the outer layer of their intertwined lives. She discovered Alex in the living room, his gaze absorbed by the pages of a book resting in his lap. As she stepped into the room, his gaze met hers, his hazel eyes revealing a cautious glimmer. While his stance remained tense and unyielding, Valerie inhaled deeply, grounding herself as she settled into the chair opposite him. "Alex, we must converse," she started, her voice imbued with a subtle urgency that demanded attention. "The palpable tension that lingers between us. It's ripping at the seams of my very being. We cannot continue down this path." Alex closed his book and set it aside, his expression a mystery waiting to be unraveled. "I understand, Mom. It seems that I've been sensing it as well. Yet I find myself pondering what you envision us doing in response to the situation." Valerie leaned forward, her hands clasped tightly in her lap, as if the weight of her thoughts was drawing her closer to the moment. "I envision a journey where we share our truths, recognizing the currents that shape our path, and together, we seek the way forward, to embark on a journey ahead." The exchange that ensued was among the most challenging and emotionally intense moments either of them had ever faced. Words flowed forth in a cascade of unfiltered truth as they each revealed their fears, their insecurities, and the intricate web of emotions that had emerged since that pivotal night. Valerie shared her tale of loneliness, the emptiness that had enveloped her since the departure of her husband, Alex's father. She revealed the deep yearning for affection that had blossomed within her, a yearning that had somehow woven itself into the very essence of her adult son. Alex absorbed the words, his expression a canvas painted with shock and disbelief. He sought to express the turmoil within him, grappling with the juxtaposition of his mother's image and the unsettling, forbidden allure that filled him with guilt and inner conflict. As they engaged in a passionate exchange, revealing their innermost thoughts, a transformation stirred deep within Valerie. The dam of her repressed longings had burst, and she discovered herself fully embracing the sensuality she had suppressed for far too long. She had embraced the roles of mother, nurturer, and caretaker, yet within her beat the heart of a woman with desires and aspirations, longings that yearned for recognition. In the days that followed, Valerie started to reveal her blossoming identity through her attire and the way she carried herself. She donned ensembles that she embraced her femininity, selecting pieces that she had previously considered too bold or revealing. Mini skirts that embraced her curves, short tops that revealed a hint of her midriff, and on some uncertain days, she chose to forego a bra entirely, allowing the delicate outline of her nipples to subtly emerge through the fabric. Her blouse, Alex couldn't help but notice the change in her attire. He was captivated, unable to break his stare from her, the irresistible allure of her presence weaving a tight knot of tension within him. Shaped in the depths of his being, the air in the apartment thickened with a palpable energy, every light brush igniting a spark, and a lingering glance, stoking the flames of a fire that threatened to engulf them both. Valerie was keenly aware of the impact she was having on her son. She delighted in the sense of influence it bestowed upon her. She found herself drawn to moments that allowed her to glide near him, her movements. With intention and precision, she moved through the apartment's narrow confines, the sensation of his body brushing against hers, even if just for a fleeting moment, ignited waves of exhilaration that surged within her. Within her veins flowed a fire, awakening a longing she could no longer dismiss. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the air in the kitchen crackled with an intensity that could not be ignored. The two of them moved about, chopping and stirring, but the unspoken words hung heavy between them, building to a crescendo that was almost palpable. Valerie, a name that dances on the lips like a whispered secret, beckons us into a world where tales unfold and dreams take flight. Each syllable carries a hint of mystery, inviting us to explore the depths of her journey. What stories lie beneath the surface, waiting to be revealed? Let us embark on this adventure together, where every moment is a chapter waiting to be written. She leaned down to fetch a pot from the lower cabinet, her short skirt riding up to unveil the delicate lace, the delicate trim of her undergarment. With a deliberate motion, she straightened herself, her heart racing in her chest as her gaze fell upon Alex's figure. Glimmers danced in the polished surfaces of the stainless steel appliances. His gaze was locked onto her, his face a canvas of barely restrained longing. Their gazes intertwined in the mirror's embrace, and for a fleeting instant, time appeared to stand still, remain motionless. Valerie turned to face him, her lips slightly parted, her breath coming in short, ragged gasps. She stepped closer to him, her body moving as if guided by an unseen force, compelled by something greater than herself. Mastery. Alex's eyes wandered to her lips, then returned to her gaze, a quiet question lingering in the space that separated them. Valerie stepped closer, her hand rising to caress his face, her fingers delicately following the contour of his jaw. "Alex," she murmured, her voice quivering with feeling, "the battle within me has become too great to bear. I prefer to embrace it." The words lingered in the air, a bold proclamation of her desires, a yielding to the long-simmering yearnings that had been stirring inside her for weeks. In her gaze, she witnessed the tempest swirling within him, a fierce struggle between the affection that bound him to her and the forbidden essence of their connection. Ultimately, it was the deep affection they held for one another that swayed the balance, the love that had illuminated their path through every challenge and hardship of their intertwined journey was a love that rose above societal expectations and moral scrutiny, a love that burned bright and steadfast in its fervor. With a low groan, Alex succumbed to the alluring temptation that had been haunting him. His arms wrapped around her waist, drawing her near as his lips captured hers, in a kiss that felt like both the return and the farewell to all they had once believed to be real. They wandered out of the kitchen, their movements synchronized as they journeyed toward Valerie's bedroom. The door gently whispered shut, sealing away the outside world and its myriad complexities. Within those walls, they existed as just a man and a woman, bound together by a connection that was both exquisite and deeply forbidden. In the dim light, they began to shed their layers, each movement a careful dance, a promise whispered through fingertips of the joy and sorrow that awaited them. They navigated the contours of one another with a tenderness that felt almost sacred, their movements a reflection of the profound connection that intertwined their hearts and souls. And when they finally united in a moment of love that was both exquisite and deeply forbidden, they did so with the understanding that they had stepped over a line from which there was no turning back. They decided to embrace the intricacies of their bond, to steer through the tumultuous seas of their mutual longings, and to confront the outcomes of their decisions side by side, united as a family. In the quiet aftermath, as they lay entwined in Valerie's bed, the weight of their actions began to settle in, a slow realization creeping over them. In soft whispers, they shared visions of what lay ahead, contemplating the trials that awaited them on this unique journey they had embarked upon. Yet, amidst the trials and tribulations, they held steadfast to the conviction that their love, unconventional though it may be, was a treasure worth defending, a flame worth igniting even in the face of scandal and disapproval. The morning light poured into the bedroom, casting a gentle glow of soft gold and warm amber across the floor. Valerie stirred, a gentle stretch of her limbs breaking the tranquil spell of slumber that had embraced her in the early hours of dawn. Beside her, Alex lay in a peaceful slumber, his breath a steady and even whisper, the gentle rise and fall of his chest creating a soothing rhythm that intertwined with the serene stillness of the apartment. Valerie took a moment to simply observe him, her heart brimming with a blend of love, gratitude, and a lingering sense of wonder at the adventure they had undertaken together. Their bond had journeyed through unknown realms, defying societal expectations and redefining the very fabric of their intertwined lives. As Alex began to stir, his eyelids fluttering open to reveal the sleepy warmth of his hazel eyes, a small knowing smile danced upon Valerie's lips. "Good morning," she whispered, her voice gentle and laced with the lingering warmth of slumber. "Morning," Alex replied, his voice carrying the weight of the new day. He pivoted to meet her gaze, his eyes warming as they locked onto hers. "Last night, it was nothing short of extraordinary." Valerie nodded, her gaze steadfast, unwavering from his. "It was. Each moment spent with you unfolds like a new chapter, a gentle nudge that reaffirms our choice to journey together on this path." They ascended in unison, their motions seamless and harmonious, as though they were the halves of a singular entity. Valerie guided the path to her bedroom, a thrill of expectation coursing through her, igniting a delightful tremor along her spine. The door whispered shut behind them, a gentle click that wrapped them in a cocoon, far removed from the chaos of the outside world. Within the confines of their sacred space, they peeled away each other's layers with a tenderness that masked the intense desire bubbling just beneath the surface. Valerie's hands glided over the contours of Alex's chest, her touch playful and gentle, while Alex explored the delicate lines of her collarbone, his fingers igniting a warm path in their journey. They united in a dance as ancient as the stars, their bodies flowing with a harmony and finesse shaped by countless moments woven together. Every gentle touch, every softly spoken word of affection, spoke volumes about the profound emotions they held for each other. A joyous gathering, honoring the love they had bravely embraced and made their own. As they ascended to the peak of their mutual fervor, the universe around them appeared to dissolve, leaving only the two of them, entwined in a connection that transcended the mere physical. It was a bond that danced between beauty and melancholy, a gentle nudge of the fragile equilibrium they had forged amidst the demands of society and the undeniable whispers of their hearts. In the aftermath, as they lay entwined amidst the tangled sheets, the soft rhythm of their mingled breaths was the sole sound that pierced the stillness of the room. Valerie nestled against Alex, her head finding a comfortable spot on his chest, attuned to the soothing cadence of his heartbeat, a representation of the journey they had decided to embark on together, in spite of the dangers and the possibility of sorrow. Their love unfolded like a rich tapestry, intricately woven with threads of desire, familial affection, and the steadfast commitment to each other's happiness and well-being. It was a love that dared to challenge the norms and eluded simple definitions, a love that called for bravery and an open heart to welcome the mysteries ahead. As they gently slipped into slumber, each one wrapped in their own musings, they understood that the path ahead was shrouded in uncertainty. They recognized that their path together would be filled with challenges, both from the world around them and within themselves. Yet, they understood that no matter the trials that awaited them, they would confront them together, standing strong as one. Their love shone brightly, a guiding light that would lead them through even the darkest of times. In the hushed moments just before the first light of day, Valerie and Alex renewed their vows to one another and to the shared journey they were crafting side by side. In the shadows, they exchanged soft promises, pledging to support each other, to hold dear the bond they created, and to journey through the intricacies of their extraordinary and unwavering affection. Their tale was not for the timid, a narrative woven with threads of bravery, perseverance, and an unwavering quest for joy amidst challenges. It stood as a shining example of love's remarkable ability to change, to mend, and to withstand, no matter the challenges faced. As the dawn's gentle light filtered through the blinds, it painted the room with a soft, otherworldly glow. In the room, Valerie and Alex embraced tightly, wrapped in the certainty that their love, though unconventional, was a force strong enough to rise above any challenge that lay ahead. Stand in its path. They had chosen each other, not in defiance of their shared past, but as a powerful reflection on the unwavering connections that bring us together, no matter the challenges we face. In the aftermath of their significant and transformative choice, Valerie and Alex wrestled with the intricate layers of their newfound reality. The days that followed their intimate encounter unfolded like a delicate dance of emotions, where moments of intense connection were woven together with threads of doubt and reflection. They felt the weight of their circumstances pressing down on them, and the urgency to define their limits and set clear expectations grew ever more critical. Valerie, always the vigilant guardian, was the first to express the importance of caution and proceed with care. "We must tread lightly, Alex," she murmured one morning over coffee, her gaze probing his for a spark of comprehension. "What we share is a tale that society may find hard to embrace. We must remain vigilant." Alex nodded, the burden of their secret darkening his expression. "I understand, Mum. I truly don't wish to bring any trouble to you or to either of us. We shall find a path that allows us to navigate this challenge while minimizing our exposure to risk." They came to a consensus to uphold the facade of a conventional mother-son bond whenever they found themselves in the company of others, be it in public or among friends and family. It was a challenging transition, mastering the art of concealing the evident indicators of, though their connection ran deep. They both recognized the necessity of maintaining appearances to shield themselves from the watchful eyes and judgments of those around them. As the weeks unfolded, Valerie and Alex discovered a rhythm that enabled them to delve into their blossoming bond while maintaining a semblance of everyday life in their routines. Existences. Valerie immersed herself deeper into her work, embracing extra projects to maintain her focus. Her thoughts wandered endlessly during the hours she and Alex were separated. Alex, in the meantime, immersed himself in the quest for new opportunities, exploring hobbies and interests that would occasionally whisk him away from the ordinary. In a cozy apartment, they found the much-needed space to thrive together. The moments they shared in the evenings and on weekends were invaluable, a refuge from the realm beyond. They prepared meals side by side, savoring bottles of wine while engaging in deep conversation about all and nothing intertwined, as they reveled in the pure joy of one another's presence. Between them lay a gentle familiarity, a soothing bond that had blossomed from their intertwined past and profound connection, an emotional bond, intertwined with the unmistakable spark that now shimmered just below the surface of their exchanges. Valerie took special care with her appearance, hoping to spark in Alex the same reaction she had witnessed in his eyes that first night they surrendered to their desires. She ventured into the realm of makeup, crafting looks that were fresh and daring, while her hair danced in natural waves, styled to perfection. Her outfits whispered elegance. Each chose a delicate balance of allure and sophistication. The delicate changes in her demeanor acted as quiet cues, revealing her openness and readiness to journey further along the path they had begun to traverse together. Alex, in his own way, appeared to thrive amidst the warmth and care that Valerie showered upon him. He radiated a newfound confidence, a certainty in himself that she had never witnessed before, and the transformation in his demeanor was truly extraordinary. Their connection had transformed in nuanced yet significant ways, with Valerie frequently seeking Alex's guidance and support, reminiscent of the way partners do in a conventional relationship. Their physical relationship unfolded like a captivating tale, each encounter a new chapter of discovery and shared delight. They discovered the contours of one another, the tender places that drew forth breathless sighs, the cadence and tempo that led them both to the edge of bliss and further still. The closeness they experienced was a wellspring of happiness intertwined with a persistent feeling of remorse, a complex riddle they continued to unravel. Words wove their foundation, a means to navigate the complex tapestry of feelings that their unique bond unveiled. With open hearts, they shared their emotions, their anxieties, and the path that lay ahead, resolute in their commitment to confront any obstacles side by side. Tomorrow, next month, or even next year remains a mystery, Valerie shared during one of their deep, soul-bearing conversations. As long as we remain truthful with one another and place our bond at the forefront, I have faith that we can conquer any challenge that crosses our path. Alex extended his hand, enveloping hers in a tender gesture that spoke volumes of solidarity and affection. I see your point, Mom. We have triumphed over countless challenges. I believe in our journey, in the foundation we've created, and the path that lies ahead of us. They understood that their adventure was just beginning, that the path before them would be laden with challenges and possible traps. Yet they were aware that they possessed something extraordinary, a connection that soared above the commonplace and the everyday. A connection had blossomed between them, intricate and stunning, a true reflection of the profound emotional and physical ties they shared. As they ventured onward, a profound realization dawned upon them. The walls they had meticulously built between their individual journeys and their collective aspirations were starting to crumble. They unearthed the truth that they could preserve the strength of their family ties while also welcoming the fervor and closeness they had once thought to be off limits. They held dear the little moments of everyday life, relishing the laughter shared over a meal, finding solace in the quiet companionship of sitting together in silence, and enjoying the gentle teasing and inside jokes that were uniquely theirs. These were the essential elements of their bond, the very groundwork upon which their unique love story was crafted and nurtured. In the days that followed, Valerie and Alex stood at a crossroads, their lives forever changed by the choices they had made and the journeys they had decided to embark on together. In the face of the unknown, they clung to one another with unwavering determination, their love shining brightly like a beacon amidst stormy waters of life. In the hush of twilight conversations and the warmth of afternoons wrapped in each other's arms, they forged a sanctuary in a world intent on separating them. They understood that their bond would persist in raising eyebrows and igniting debates, drawing the attention of those unable to grasp the genuine essence of what existed between them. Yet, none of this lessened the profound nature of their commitment, nor extinguished the fierce flame of their desire. Rather, these challenges transformed into a spark for a profound understanding, igniting a collective determination to stand together against any trials that lay ahead. In the midst of their journey through the intricate tapestry of their connection, Valerie and Alex discovered the beauty in the joy that blossomed from their union, all the while recognizing the sacrifices that their partnership required. They shared their visions of what lay ahead, embracing the possibility of a world where love and acceptance triumphed over the shadows of prejudice and fear. As they nestled together in the cozy embrace of Valerie's bedroom, the gentle light from the bedside lamp enveloped them in a tender glow. They exchanged soft whispers of commitment and resilience, their hearts synchronizing as they welcomed the arrival of a new day that held the promise of deepening their remarkable bond and celebrating the lasting strength of their unparalleled love. As the soft glow of dawn crept in, awakening the city from its deep slumber, Valerie and Alex found themselves cocooned in the warmth of her bedroom, their bodies intertwined and hearts beating in a gentle rhythm together. The echoes of the previous night still hung in the atmosphere, a powerful blend of openness, fervor, and the exhilarating rush of having transcended a barrier that society considered unbreakable. Yet here they stood, a testament that love could thrive even in the most unexpected of situations. As Valerie traced idle patterns on the smooth skin of Alex's chest, she marveled at the serene expression on his face, a stark contrast to the turmoil of emotions that had consumed them just hours before. As the morning light crept in, a sense of unease took root in her mind, stirring thoughts about the expectations of society, the sacredness of familial ties, and the possibility that in their pursuit of happiness, they had unwittingly sacrificed something precious. Feeling her discomfort, Alex shifted to catch her eye, his voice a deep murmur that carried a weight of genuine concern. "We'll find a way through this, Mum. In the face of adversity, we have weathered storms before, and together we shall emerge from this challenge, united and more resilient than ever." Valerie bestowed upon him a hesitant smile, her heart swelling with gratitude for his comforting words. Even as her thoughts swirled with the weight of their predicament, hand in hand, they ventured down a road fraught with hidden dangers, where every stride demanded bravery, careful thought, and an unshakable faith in the purity of their connection, a connection that rose above societal norms and challenged the status quo. As the weeks unfolded, Valerie and Alex crafted a fragile equilibrium within the walls of their apartment, a haven where they could delve into the intricacies of their bond, free from the shadows of judgment or consequence. Their daily exchanges were steeped in the warm embrace of family ties. Yet within the sanctuary of their shared haven, a deeper, more profound connection began to flourish. Night after night, they reveled in the intoxicating joy of physical discovery, every caress steeped in a deep comprehension of one another's heart, mind, and soul. On the other hand, the external realm required a meticulously crafted exterior, one that hid the genuine depth of their developing alliance. In her professional life and among her friends, Valerie exuded a sense of calm self-sufficiency, embodying the role of a dedicated single mother whose foremost priority was guiding her son through the journey into adulthood. In the midst of it all, Alex juggled his days between the pursuit of new job opportunities and nurturing friendships that hinted at the profound desires he concealed behind a facade of easygoing indifference. The interplay of their being, the outward facade contrasted with the inner truth, unfolded like a delicate ballet of nuance and control. Through meaningful glances and coded phrases, they exchanged a language all their own, their shared laughter rich with an underlying significance that only they understood. And while the effort of upholding such a facade sometimes weighed heavily, revealing moments of deep solitude for Valerie and spells of reflective sadness to Alex, these trials only strengthened their bond, deepening their devotion to one another. As they adjusted to their in a fresh chapter of their lives, Valerie and Alex found that their bond demanded ongoing dialogue and a continual reshaping of their connection. They crafted a set of guiding principles aimed at protecting the essence of their bond, all the while recognizing the natural dangers that came with their unconventional alliance. Transparent dialogue emerged as their beacon of understanding. Open conversations regarding limits, hopes, and possible triggers guided them through the intricacies of their relationship. With elegance and empathy. It wasn't long before the outside world began to weave its influence into the delicate tapestry of the ecosystem they had so meticulously crafted. With genuine curiosity, family members delved into Alex's social life and romantic pursuits, framing him as the charming young bachelor on the brink of a future brimming with endless opportunities. Valerie, in the midst of it all, gracefully navigated the subtle hints from her friends, who gently nudged her to think about stepping back into the world of dating, to awaken a part of herself that had long been in slumber. Ever since I lost my partner, external forces loomed large, casting shadows over the fragile balance that Valerie and Alex had painstakingly crafted. They found themselves at a crossroads, compelled to face the unsettling realities surrounding the endurance and viability of their bond. Were they simply embracing a momentary transgression? Or had they chanced upon something genuinely timeless? A love that can endure the piercing gaze of the world around it, In fleeting instances in the midst of uncertainty, Valerie found refuge in the serene interludes they cherished together. Hidden from the world, those secret kisses exchanged in the kitchen, the reassuring presence of Alex's arm resting gently on her shoulders as they enjoy their favorite shows, and the sweet gesture of him tucking a stray lock of hair behind her ear painted a picture of warmth and intimacy. These tender gestures lifted her spirits, a gentle reminder that their bond reached far beyond mere physical attraction. In the depths of his mind, Alex wrestled with the weight of the duty that accompanied his role as the guardian of their hidden truth. He observed his mother intently, poised to offer comfort and encouragement whenever her determination seemed to falter. In his gaze, Valerie beheld a wisdom and richness of spirit that transcended his age, affirming her conviction that their love was anything but shallow. It was deeply anchored in a harmonious exchange, where an innate comprehension of each other's deepest desires flourishes, amidst the intricate dance of their close connection. Woven tightly within the fabric of family ties, Valerie and Alex embarked on a journey of personal and shared growth. Their discussions wandered through a tapestry of themes, exploring personal dreams and deep reflections, while also navigating the intricate dance of balancing a life that demanded unwavering attention. Beyond, with each glass of wine and during their leisurely strolls in the park, they shared their hopes and fears, crafting a rich tapestry of shared experiences that deepened their bond. In those quiet moments of contemplation, Valerie began to recognize the deep change that had taken place deep inside her. Motherhood had woven into her being a tapestry of strength, patience, and resilience. Yet her evolving, the bond with Alex revealed layers of her character that had been quietly resting for far too long. She experienced a vibrant awakening, her essence lifted by the thrilling surge of a fresh passion intertwined with the warm embrace of unwavering love. In a parallel journey, Alex unearthed fresh facets of his being through the moments shared with Valerie. He discovered the significance of sensitivity and emotional intelligence, understanding that genuine connection transcended the simple pleasures of the body. As he observed her vulnerabilities, his admiration for his mother grew, and he cherished the trust she placed in him to guide their unique partnership with grace and compassion. As spring slowly gave way to the embrace of summer, Valerie and Alex found themselves pondering the path they had traveled together up to this moment. They understood the delicate balance of their situation, aware that the journey ahead, the path that lay before them, was shrouded in mystery and doubt. And so, they gathered to honor the milestones they had reached along their journey. Every challenge faced stood as a testament to the strength of their connection and the authenticity of their partnership. Their love had transformed into a rich tapestry, intricate, layered, and defying easy definition. It was a wellspring of immense joy and, at times, deep sorrow, as they reflected on the sacrifices required by their chosen journey. United in their sorrow, they mourned the absence of. In the quiet moments, they found a sense of acceptance, recognizing that their lives would always bear the hues of the choices they had embraced. Yet, nestled within that acceptance was a profound sense of freedom. They had cast off the chains of societal expectations, embracing the freedom to shape their relationship in a way that was uniquely as. In the stillness of her thoughts, Valerie sometimes let her mind wander to a life unbound by the limitations of their present circumstances, a life where she and Alex could embrace a truth without the shadow of judgment or isolation looming over them. Though these dreams offered a fleeting escape from the weight of their reality, she understood that the real gauge of their triumph lay in their skill to maneuver through the now. As they crafted a vision for what lay ahead, they sought to weave together their personal joy with the duties that awaited them in the world beyond. Their romance unfolded like a graceful dance, every step meticulously planned to maintain the exquisite harmony they had cultivated. As they twirled gracefully along the razor's edge, on the brink of propriety and desire, Valerie and Alex clung to the conviction that their adventure, despite the myriad challenges it presented, was deserving of every risk taken, every moment of uncertainty faced, and every sacrifice endured throughout their path. In the stillness of the night, secrets were shared in hushed tones, while gentle promises were exchanged in the warm embrace of dawn. They vowed to stand by each other, ready to face any storm that life might bring. Tempests approach with elegance, poise, and an unwavering belief in the strength of their remarkable affection. With hearts entwined and souls united, Valerie and Alex set forth into the unknown, resolute in their quest to navigate a path toward a horizon filled with hope, understanding, and the promise of infinite tomorrows.